Yo, what's going on guys, Ian77 here. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best deck for every arena in Clash Royale. So, hopping in the first match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 1, and in Arena 1 there's really only a few different cards you can actually unlock, so pretty much everyone is going to be using this deck, or like something pretty much the same as this. So, just important that you add like the best possible cards to make sure you can get as many victories as possible, and I feel like this deck is really good just because like there's a really nice synergy between like the minions and the goblins as like good arrows bait, and you also have like goblin cage and mini pekka to take down tanks, so you really have quite a good time against most of the other decks that they could actually throw at you in Arena 1. And oh, by the way guys, all of these matches will be played in grand challenges. I don't really have an account low enough in trophies to like really showcase the decks in all of the different arenas, but I'll kind of just try to explain their playstyle as best as I can, and you guys should still be able to like learn quite a few things just from seeing it in grand challenges. And to be honest, grand challenges are also like a lot harder than like all of those low arenas, so I feel like it should still show you guys quite a bit. And hopping in the first match, I'm pretty sure this guy has like a golem deck, not really too sure what else would be running, like skeleton dragons and electro dragon and stuff like that. And I'm just going to use some minions here just to make sure we can kill that electro dragon. Looks like he is going to go with the tornado as well, so basically sure that it is going to be golem at this point. And with this deck you kind of just want to be really aggressive early on because you have like a really nice defense with like the goblin cage and the mini pekka, so you kind of just want to be really aggressive, making sure you can get a lot of damage early on. And we're actually getting a really nice king tower activation there with the mini pekka, and I'm going to go with the giant in front of it as well, just because I know we can easily like rely on our goblin cage and all of that stuff to defend his golem pushes later, but it's going to be a little bit hard to break through sometimes. That's why I want to be quite aggressive early on. It looks like mini pekka will actually score one shot on his tower, so looking really good here. And his skelly drags are pretty much dead from our arrows, so I don't really have to worry too much about them. And yeah, looks like he will go with the golem in the back. Pretty much was sure he was running golem anyways, so yeah, should be pretty good right here. I know it's not like the best to go with the giant straight into a golem push, but to be fair, we just need like a little bit more damage on his tower and it should be pretty much done, so I'm not really too worried about that. And looks like our minion will actually get like quite a lot of value right there, pretty much fully killing the electro dragon, so should be able to defend pretty okay right here. And he's going to give us like a super good fireball, which is pretty much going to clear up everything, and I think our goblin brawler should finish off the golemites right there. And our king tower is also helping out a bit, so looking really good right here. Looks like he's going to set up with an electro dragon in the back, so can't really be too aggressive, because if we go like straight into an electro dragon, it's pretty much just going to counter our entire push. So I'm just going to go with a set of arrows on it. We can also fireball it if needed, but we kind of want to usually save our fireball for his skeleton dragon, so might just wait for this E-drag to lock onto the musketeer, then I'm going to use those minions to finish it off. And somehow his mini pekka actually went straight towards our tower instead of towards the mini pekka that we used, so he got like so much damage right there. But I think this is probably going to be a good game because I don't really think there's any way he can actually defend this, and fireball is going to hit his mini pekka as well, so Giant just going to pummel his tower at this point, and that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 2, which is going to be pretty similar to the best deck for Arena 1, except we are going to have quite a few substitutions. Like, you really only have Giant as your win condition in Arena 2 as well, but you do have like quite a few new cards like Tombstone, Baby Dragon, Skarmy, and stuff like that. So I feel like Tombstone's like super good in Arena 2 because you have like those really nice skeletons being spawned at all times, which are really good against mini pekkas, and pretty much everyone in Arena 2 is going to be using mini pekka, so I feel like this deck is going to suit you guys really well. And also Skarmy's just like so broken in lower arenas, especially because nobody really has like a zap or anything like that, or not even like a log either, so they really only have arrows to counter your Skarmy, but usually it's going to take like quite a few seconds for their arrows to actually come down, and the Skarmy will usually kill most of their push before they even get the chance to play them, so that's why Skarmy's really good right here. And looks like this guy will be using like a 3 Musketeers deck, so it is going to be interesting to see how this Arena 2 deck can actually do against some of the stronger decks in the meta right now, like 3 Musketeers. Like ever since the Elixir Collector got buffed, I feel like 3M is going to be quite a strong deck. And looks like he's going to go with a pump in the back right here, so I'm just going to go with the Giant plus mini pekka at the river. Don't really have any other choice, I feel like, because he pretty much can like keep stacking pumps and like going with 3 Musketeers, so if we don't like make sure to pressure him very well, he can probably just like stack pumps and beat us pretty easily. So it is going to be important that we kind of hopefully win the game early on. And looks like Giant will actually get quite a few shots on his tower right there, so he pretty much took his whole tower. Probably just like with another good Giant push or two, he should be able to finish off the game here. And but yeah, I just want to make sure that we have like really good defense first, and I don't really want to waste my Skarmy on this ghost because our Skarmy is going to be really valuable since he has a barb barrel. So if he goes with like E-barbs, we can just go with like a low Skarmy, and he has like no way to really break through. So I feel like it's really important that we do that. And perfect timing on the Giant. I was kind of expecting that he'd go with 3 Musketeers there, so should get quite a few shots in his tower, I hope. And yeah, so not really sure how his Golden Knight just dashed that far right there, but yeah, at this point we really just need like 2 more fireballs in his tower and like a set of arrows to finish him off. So not really like too rushed at this point. Just gonna kind of let the game play out and keep on just like doing my thing. Don't really want to like accidentally be too aggressive and end up losing the game right here. So just gonna make sure to fireball his 3 Musketeers still. Maybe we can even just like arrows chip him out at this point. Don't even think we like need to go with a fireball right away. Just like a few sets of arrows should pretty much be all we need. And yeah, so you can see like his Barbara is never really going to reach our Skarmy all the way down there, so it is going to easily counter the E-barbs. And at this point I don't really think he has any way to stop a Giant since he wasted all his stuff right there. So I think our Giant should probably get to his tower. He's going to have a set of E-barbs right here, but they came down like super late, and I don't think they're actually going to be able to stop this Giant, and that would be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 3. So the Arena 3 deck is basically the same as the best Arena 2 deck. The only real difference is that you do have Mega Minion instead of Musketeer, and the reason I feel like Mega Minion's really good in Arena 3 is just because like a lot of people are going to be running baby dragons and stuff like that, so Mega Minion really gets a lot of value by being like a super nice counter to baby dragon. And yeah, I feel like all of the units in Arena 2 get quite a lot of value in Arena 3 as well. Not really too much changes there. So yeah, looks like this guy probably will be running like some weird, or not really like a weird deck, but like a normal Royal Recruits, probably Royal Hogs deck as well. So should be an interesting matchup. We don't really have like a Dark Prince or anything to counter his Royal Recruits, but we do have Tombstone, which is going to be quite nice. And we also have like Mega Minion to kill flying machines and stuff like that. And I'm just going to be really aggressive right here. As I was saying, like for the Arena 1 deck as well, you kind of just want to be super aggressive with these Giant decks because you have like such good defense that you can be like quite aggressive early on and just like rely on your really strong defensive cards to defend whatever their counter push may be. So it is going to get us like quite a bit of damage right there, maybe like 600 or so damage. So off to a pretty solid start. And also Baby Dragon is going to be quite nice against his Royal Recruits. They're always going to get like splashed down pretty well by the Baby Dragon. And obviously like Skarmy also will get like so much value, especially before like your opponents start unlocking Zap and like Log and all of that stuff. Looks like this guy will just go with another set of recruits here, but I don't really think there's any way for him to kill our Baby Dragon on our side of the map. He does have Zappies, I think, but I don't really think that's going to be too efficient at killing our Baby Dragon, just because we can easily just like arrows them down or like even Fireball if we have to. And we do have Mega Minion for his flying machine, so we don't always have to save our Fireball for that. And he's going to go with the cage right there to counter our Baby Dragon, but that means our Giant should probably walk straight towards his tower at this point. I'm going to get a really good Fireball there on his Goblin Brawler as well, and he does have a flying machine right here, but it doesn't really matter too much for me, because even though we can't Fireball it, I don't really think it's actually going to do too much. We can easily just like cycle back to a Mega Minion if we need to, and yeah, just going to Skarmy these Royal Hogs and go with another Mega Minion on his flying machine. And you can stick with this deck. Sometimes you just want to defend really good and then just go with like a Giant right in front of it. It kind of really depends on the matchup, like how you want to play it, just like depending on what cards your opponent is running. And I think I'm just going to go with a Fireball plus arrows here in his Goblin Brawl. It should allow our Giant to pretty much finish off his tower right here. It was quite aggressive. It was quite an aggressive play, but I think we should be able to defend just fine with this Skarmy right here. You can't really stop it without like a Fireball or something. And even if he does go with a Fireball, that just costs so much elixir, so you probably wouldn't really be able to defend too well after that, and that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 4, which is going to be a pretty free-to-play friendly Pekka Bridge Spam deck. I feel like Pekka is super good in Arena 4 because you have like so many matchups against Giant usually in Arena 4, like even though it's a little bit out of the earlier arenas, you still do tend to face like quite a few Giant decks. So I feel like Pekka's just super good to counter all those decks, and you do also have like some good pressure with the Battle Ram, and the baby dragon can kind of like splash down certain cards to help your Pekka get to the towers. So even though you don't have like zap in this deck to deal with the Skarmies, you do still have like double small spell in the barbarian and arrows, and also baby dragon is gonna kind of kill those swarms pretty well. Not quite as good as a zap, but still gonna usually get the job done here. And you do have minions also, which you can use behind your battle rams or your Pekkas and stuff like that. And looks like this guy's gonna have Lumberloon right here, which is gonna be a little bit interesting. Not really too sure how we're gonna win this. It is gonna be pretty hard to break through since we don't have like a bandit or anything in this deck. But I'm just gonna go with the battle ram here in the left lane, and Musketeer should get some damage in the right lane. He is going to go with a set of bats on it, but he is going to allow our battle ram to connect right there. So we are going to get quite a ton of damage right here. And yeah, so pretty happy with this spot. We do also have the activated King Tower, so I'm not really too worried about his Lumberloon pushes. And we do have quite a few air defense cards in this deck. The one nice thing about it is that you can really easily stop any balloon decks, I guess. Like I don't think you even unlock balloon in Arena 4, but if you play this deck like later on, like even past Arena 4, if you decide to like kind of level it up quite a bit, you can still have quite a bit of success with it, because you have like quite a few counters to pretty much anything they can throw at you. You have Pekka to stop like the giants and golems and whatever else, but you also have minions and musketeer and stuff to kill like their air pushes. So not really too sure what this guy's trying to do right here. He's going with a lumberjack into the Pekka, so that's going to be pretty good for us right away. And I don't really think we're going to be able to get our battle rams to the tower very easily anymore, because he has like quite a few defensive cards against battle rams, like his snowball and his lumberjack and all that. So we have to build up like quite a big push right here, and I think this push should hopefully finish him off. Not really too sure how he's actually going to stop it. And the battle ram does kind of go in front of the Pekka, so it is going to not get to the tower, but the barbarian is still going to just like walk straight to his tower, and it will take it out pretty easily right here. I think that's probably going to be a good game. Not really too sure how he might defend right here. Just gonna like stack my air cards and go with the battle ram as well. And yeah, I guess he's pretty much just gonna give up at this point. So yeah, this is like a really nice deck, especially the Pekka is just like so good in this arena, and it really allows you to counter a lot of the popular decks that they can run against you. So that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 5, which is going to be a pretty interesting Hog Inferno Tower deck with Zap as well. Like, in Arena 5, you do finally unlock Zap, which is honestly so nice against all of your opponent's Skarmies and all of that stuff, and also Fire Spirit's really good to pressure, so I feel like this deck is all around, like, really solid, and even when you're high trophies, I feel like this deck can still be quite effective, like, maybe with a few substitutions. Like, I would definitely recommend running Zap in this deck when you're lower arenas, but maybe when you get higher up, you could probably try to sub in like a log or something. But yeah, I feel like it's really necessary against like Skarmies and stuff like that to be running the Zap in the lower arenas. And his lumberjack might get a few shots on our tower here, but I'm just gonna let it go just because I kind of want to save the Zap for like whatever other spam cards he may have here. And he's going to go with a lumberjack at the river, so just going to kite it with a hog. Don't really want to commit an entire musketeer to stop his lumberjack right there, because I kind of want to save it for defense. And I'm just going to get some chip damage with the Fire Spirit, hopefully, unless he spends something. Looks like he will just let it go. And yeah, so it's obviously really nice to have Inferno Tower against a lava deck, and with this deck, you do have quite a bit of air defense, like in the Inferno Tower, Fireball, Musketeer, Fire Spirit, and even like Zap against some of the swarmy air units. So I feel like you should be really well off. And Valkyrie is going to come down at the perfect time. I was kind of expecting that he'd go with a lava in the back, so Valkyrie is going to probably get quite a bit of damage on his tower, and he's going to be forced to spend that baby dragon as well. So Inferno Tower should probably deal with his lava pretty nicely at this point. It's not even going to give him a chance to like make a big clone push, so that should be quite nice. And I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be running lava clone right here. So yeah, we kind of just want to make sure we take out his lavas really quickly so that he can't get like a huge push off on us. And I was kind of expecting him to go with like a Skarmy on our Hog Rider, but he's just going to mirror the lumberjack, so it is going to defend it pretty okay. But at this point, we just need like a few more hog hits, and that probably will be a good game here if we have like some good defense. But we can't really underestimate him either though, because Lava Clone does have like really good offense sometimes, so we do have to be kind of careful. And yeah, you can see like how useful Zap is against the Skarmies right here. Even though this isn't Arena 5, we still are facing like quite a few Skarmy decks, and even at the top of ladder, Skarmy is actually quite popular these days, so I feel like it's going to be good regardless. And also Fire Spirit just doing absolute work here. Musketeer is going to also kill his flying machine at this point, so just gonna go with the Hog Rider here in the left, gonna Fireball on the right, and yeah, I don't really see any way he's gonna come back here. I think that's pretty much gonna be a good game, and I'm gonna BM this guy just a little bit with that laughing emoji, because I think he is quite a dirty player running Lava Clone, so he deserves to get a little bit of BM right here, and yeah, gonna pick up a really easy win here with the best deck for Arena 5. Alright, so hopping in the best deck for Arena 6, we're going to be using like this weird Hog Rocket deck. It's actually not too weird of a deck, but it is kind of a little bit different than what most of you guys may be used to. It does have a few different cards than you typically see in Hog decks, but it is still quite a strong deck. Like, you have Cannon for really nice defense against like Hog Riders and Giants and all of that stuff, and even though it's not quite as good as an Inferno Tower against tanks, it still is really nice against most tanks, because it like really just puts out like very consistent DPS, and it's also a very cheap building as well. And yeah, by the way, that defense was super clean right there. Got a really nice king activation against his E-Drag, and I don't really think he can really stop our Hog right here. He's gonna go with a Golden Knight, but I think the Hog will pretty much take most of his tower. He is gonna go with the dash as well, but Musketeer should finish off most of his Golden Knight at this point. And yeah, this deck is definitely really good against Eagle, and you have like Rocket, which can pretty much just destroy their entire push, and then you also have like Valkyrie and Cannon to kind of kill the Eagle itself pretty easily. And yeah, so not really sure how he's gonna break through at this point. We have like a really nice defense with the Cannon and Musketeer, and we can kind of just like make sure to separate them really well to make sure he can't really get good spell value on it. Not really sure if he actually has a spell in his deck, but we're just gonna have to play it a bit careful right here, like making sure to split our stuff well in the future. But at this point, we're pretty much just going to BM him a little bit, because I don't really think there's anything he can do until it hits double elixir. When it hits double elixir, we're going to have to be a little bit more careful against him, because you never know like what they could end up pulling out. And he's going to have Rage in his deck as well, but I think we should be able to stop his push pretty easily with like a Hog Rider just to like kite everything. It is going to kite the Inferno Dragon super far right there. And yeah, he's gonna go with a Golden Knight right here, but you can say even these like low arena decks can actually deal really well with like champions and stuff like that if you put the right cards in them, like I'm showing you guys in these decks. So you can honestly feel free to like level up any of these decks. Like, even if you're a little bit past the arena that this deck is being shown in, you can actually still run it and have quite a lot of success with it too, if you're like a good player with these type of decks. And he's going to give us a super good Rocket right there. He's going to clean up the E-Golem really nicely, and his Battle Hero is pretty much dead at this point, so not really too worried about his push. I mean, pretty much already have another Rocket back in cycle if we need it, so should be pretty fine right here. His Golden Knight is going to kind of get near our tower right there, but still going to pretty much just stop his entire push at the river. It looks like he does have a Fireball as well in his deck, but not really going to do too much for him regardless. And Hog probably will pretty much take his second tower, or we can just go with like a Rocket if we need. And yeah, so really easy win. This deck's really solid. It has really nice defense against pretty much anything they can throw at you, and that will be good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 7, which is going to be quite an interesting Mega Knight Fireball bait deck. It's really nice to like have like so many different aspects of Fireball bait with like the Royal Hogs, the Skelly Drags, and the Royal Hogs. So I feel like this deck is really good at baiting out your opponent's spells, and you can really like get quite a bit of damage with those huge Mega Knight pushes, including like the Skelly Drags behind them and like Royal Hogs and all of that stuff. So yeah, this deck should be really good for you guys. And also, most of these decks that I'm showing here aren't too hard to level up. Like, they mostly have common and rare cards. This deck will have like a couple legendaries in the Log and the Mega Knight, but you can pretty easily like sub a Zapping for the Log, or like even like arrows, or really any spell that you would prefer. So that's really no problem if you don't have the levels for like this specific version of the deck. And to be honest, you could even run like Pekka instead of Mega Knight if you don't have Mega Knight high level, but I assume like most of you guys in mid ladder probably do have Mega Knight at quite a good level, just because like really Mega Knight's really just like the menace of mid ladder. Like, pretty much everyone has it leveled up, so I think most of you guys probably do have Mega Knight unlocked. And yeah, so it looks like our opponent here is going to be running like some type of bait deck, so it is going to be super nice to have Log here. So yeah, it's going to kind of like save our Goblin Cages for his Wall Breakers, our Logs for his Goblin Barrels, and we should be pretty good to go right here. We do have to kind of watch out for his Princess if he tries to go with like Princess at the river to try to chip us down. We have to be a little bit careful of that. And yeah, it does have cannon here, but honestly, you don't even need like an earthquake in this deck. Like normally when I run Royal Hogs or like Hog Rider decks, I usually prefer to have earthquake with it, but I feel like you don't even need earthquake in this deck because you have like quite good like swarming potential like with all your fireball bait cards. So instead of just like chipping them down with earthquakes, you can really just like take their whole tower and just like one push if you make it big enough using like all of your cards, and you can like kind of bait out whatever they try to use to counter your stuff. And yeah, so his Dark Goblin is going to be a little bit annoying right here, but it's pretty much just going to walk into the Mega Knight here in a bit, so not really too worried about it. And yeah, I do have to be a little bit careful. His Golden Knight is going to somehow dash through our entire defense right there. Not really too sure how that actually happened, but I think we should be able to hopefully take his tower right here with a big Mega Knight Royal Hogs Flying Machine push. Just going to log away his Princess as well, because I know we need to kind of like take his tower right here just to make sure we actually win. If we don't take his tower, I'm not really too sure how we're actually going to defend our own tower, because I think you can just go with like a Goblin Barrel here and he's probably going to take it. I'm not really too sure if he has like a rocket or something either. So yeah, just going to kind of give him our tower right there, and hopefully we can like get his second tower with a big Mega Knight push at this point. It is pretty good to go same lane with this deck just because you can like build up super big pushes, and when they try to use their counter cards, you can kind of just like keep on spamming more and more. And even though they usually will have like counter cards to like a few of your stuff, you can usually like keep on spamming more and more, and like eventually they won't have enough for like all of their stuff that they need to counter your things. So his Golden Knight is going to be a little bit annoying right here. It's going to kind of deal with our Mega Knight pretty nicely, but yeah, he's pretty much just going to fall under the pressure at this point, and Flying Machine is probably going to take the win right here, so that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 8, so it is just going to be 2.6 Hog Cycle, which I'm pretty sure almost all of you guys are probably familiar with. It's really like I think it's really like the most popular deck in CR history, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will enjoy playing this deck. Honestly, like a super good deck. Like it's even really good at the top of ladder, so even if you're not in Arena 8, or even if you're kind of debating whether you should actually level up this deck or not, I definitely suggest leveling it up just because it's like so good even at the top of ladder. It's just been so good for like so long, so I feel like it could be worth it for like quite a lot of you guys to try out this deck. And this guy does have like Baby Dragon, Tornado, and a few other stuff right here, so probably going to be a graveyard deck, which is honestly a pretty difficult matchup for 2.6, but we already got so much damage just off of our starting cards. Like with the Hog plus Skeletons there, I made sure that he'd have to spend something on our Skeletons or he'd take a lot of damage, but he just decided to take like quite a bit of damage right there, so it's going to be quite good for us right here. And he kind of misplaced his Tombstone right there, going with it pretty low, so it didn't actually pull our Hog Rider, and it is going to allow our Hog Rider to pretty much take his tower. Just need like a few more hits at this point, or like a few bits of spell damage to really finish him off. So I think we should be in a pretty good spot right here. He's gonna go with that graveyard as well, but we can just easily kite his Skeleton King all the way across the arena, so it's not really gonna get too much value. And also the Ice Golem Death Nova does kill all of the Skeleton King skeletons, so should be pretty easy to defend right here. And Ice Spirit is gonna really get the job done right there. And yeah, just gonna fireball away his Tombstone right here. Don't really want to have to deal with it anymore. And yeah, so like the really nice thing about 2.6 is that you can always go with Ice Golem plus Hog pushes. So even if they have like a Tornado in cycle to counter your Hog Rider, it's still not going to be enough just because of the Ice Golem. So he's probably gonna have to spend something else right here. He's just gonna go with the Tornado back, but I think Hog, okay, I was gonna say Hog would still get one shot, but it just barely didn't just because of the Ice Wizard, but it still forced him to spend quite a lot of elixir right there just to counter our cheap Hog plus Ice Golem push. So yeah, really solid combo to be running Hog plus Ice Golem. And just gonna prediction Fireball here on a Tombstone. We do end up hitting it right there, so I think Hog will get to his tower right there for one shot, and we pretty much just need like 2 more Fireballs and like a few logs to hopefully take most of his tower here. And yeah, his graveyard should be able to be defended pretty easy at this point. He's going to log away his Skeletons right here, and Ice Spirit is also going to connect on the left tower, and we're just going to get a Fireball on his Tombstone. So at this point we really just need to cycle back to 1 more Fireball, and that should be a good game. 2.6 is like a really solid deck for middle ladder because it has like super nice defense, but it also has really good offense, and yeah, that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 9, so it is going to be a pretty normal log bait deck. The only real difference is that in this log bait deck you do have Dark Goblin instead of Princess, but the real reason for that is just because in Arena 9 you don't unlock Princess yet, so I feel like it's kind of better to use Dark Goblin just so you have like a bit good ranged unit without actually needing the Princess, which you can't even unlock in that arena. So yeah, still a really good deck, and you have like Rocket for potentially like rocket cycling out your opponents if you can't break through with your Goblin barrels, and you really have quite a few ways to get damage, because honestly Goblin or Dark Goblin at the river is actually quite a good way to get damage. Like if your opponent doesn't have super fast reaction time, oftentimes your Dark Goblin will end up locking on their tower and getting like quite a few shots, which do quite a bit of damage each. So yeah, looking pretty good right here. He's going to somehow mess up that bandit kind of and allow our Valkyrie to get a bit of damage on his tower, and also our goblins right there. And I think I'm going to activate my king tower here against this bandit. Should help out quite a lot against Mega Knight. So yeah, it should be pretty easy on defense at this point with our king tower activated. That's like a really good pro tip for you guys. Like you can always activate your king tower using like any 2 units that bandit will one-shot with a dash. You can easily like activate your king tower by placing those 2 units in the way that I did right there. So yeah, really nice stuff right here. He is going to go with the Mega Knight, but yeah, as I said, I'm not really too worried at this point about his Mega Knight pushes, because I think it should be pretty easy to deal with now that we do have our king tower activated. And Fire Spirit's also super good at cleaning up bats and like a lot of swarm stuff, so I feel like a lot of you guys are probably going to enjoy running Fire Spirit quite a lot as well. And Dark Goblin is going to kind of tank for the Goblin barrel a little bit, so we pretty much just need like a few more Goblin stabs and like a rocket on his tower to pretty much finish him off here. I'm just going to play it a little bit safe though, just in case, because you never really know with Mega Knight when they can suddenly get like a huge push and take most of your tower. So is going to be a little bit passive right here, but he's going to go with that Mega Knight in the back, so it's going to give us a pretty good opportunity to rocket everything. And that Fire Spirit also forced him to use the early Inferno Dragon, so that's really good for us as well. It's going to make his Mega Knight push pretty much useless. Don't really think he's going to have any chance to really do anything with this push, just because he had to waste his Inferno Dragon as well on the Fire Spirit. And yeah, I kind of knew he would go with like a zap on my skeleton, so I kind of went with them really close to the cannon. That way, like even if he zapped them, the bandit still wouldn't dash on our cannon, it would just like walk towards it. And I'm just gonna finish off his tower right there with the rocket, and I'm just gonna go with the yeet barrel right there, also a cannon on his side of the map. Yeah, you kind of just gotta troll them a little bit when you're already sure that you're gonna win with log bait, and yeah, that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 10. So in Arena 10 you do actually unlock like the cards you need to play like a really solid Lava Miner deck. I feel like Lava Miner is really solid. Unlike Balloon, you also do have like quite consistent ways to get chip damage. Like sometimes when you're running Lava Balloon, like either they just will like hard counter you so much that you can't get any damage, or you just like will win so easily. But I feel like with Miner you have like a chance against pretty much everything, so that's why I kind of do like this deck. And yeah, just going with that early lava right here. He wasted Golden Knight, and he wasted like most of his elixir right there, so gonna be able to defend his Golden Knight really easily with a Dark Prince. And I guess he's just running like a really quick hog cycle deck right here. Not really too sure what else he might have in his deck. It seems to be like kind of a bit of a troll deck potentially. He does have like spear goblins as well and like cannon, but yeah, gonna have to wait and see. Just gonna go with a baby dragon right here behind the lava. Not really too sure what he's gonna use to actually stop this. Looks like he will have a pretty good Golden Knight right there to kind of kite our baby dragon, but I think we should be able to just get like a good miner off on his spear goblins right there. And yeah, so obviously like Lava Miner is like one of the better combos in the game. Like it's really nice to have your lava pups tanked for by a miner, and then just like let them get so much damage on their opponent's tower. And he's actually going to defend pretty well right there, but we're still in a pretty fine spot at this point. To be fair, like I feel like double elixir is going to be like a lot better for us compared to single elixir with this deck. So even if we're only down just like a little bit of damage in single elixir, it's still going to be kind of a good win for us, I'd say. And yeah, not really going to waste my snowball or anything on his Fire Spirit. Just kind of want to save our stuff for the offensive end. And yeah, also just like for his spear golems, we kind of need to make sure that we're saving our snowball for that. And yeah, just gonna with a baby dragon right here behind our lava push, trying to like play it a little bit off to the corner to make sure that he can't kite it. And he does actually kind of mess up the Golden Knight kite right there, so just gonna give him the hog question mark emote. And I'm pretty sure that will be pretty much his whole tower right there, just for misplaying that Mega Knight. He is going to go with the Fireball on defense still, but it's pretty much a lost cause. I think with a Poison right here, his tower should be pretty much taken. Okay, he does get a pretty good Fire Spirit right there, but still gonna pretty much take his whole tower, and we can defend pretty easily because we do have like Snowball to stop his hogs, as well as like a good Goblin cage here, so I think his hog won't get any shots. Okay, it does somehow get one shot on our tower. Not really too sure how that happened, but yeah, I do be like that. I'm just gonna give him a little bit of BM right here. Not really sure why, just because he BM'd us first, I guess. And yeah, just gonna pre-place our Inferno Dragon right here. And I think a Poison should pretty much finish his tower at this point. And yeah, just gonna thank him as well, because Lava is a bit of a dirty deck, so you do have to make sure to BM your opponents pretty well. And yeah, that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 11, so I feel like I really had to include Sparky as one of the decks in this video, just because Sparky is just so easy to play these days, so I feel like should be quite good for a lot of you guys who kind of just want to play a bit more casually and don't want to like be a try-hard cycle player or something like that, so yeah, this deck should be quite good right here. He's going to go with the Battle Ram straight into our Sparky, and yeah, not really too sure what he's trying to do right here. Our Sparky is going to pretty much clean up everything super easy at this point. I think I'm just going to go with the Giant right in front of this. I'm just going to ignore his Bandit. No point to really respond to it, because I think we might even be able to have like a 3 crown on him at this point. Not really too sure what he can actually use to defend our push at this point. He might have like Electro Wizard or something, but not even sure if he has that, seeing that he does have Magic Archer as well. So yeah, that's going to be tower right there really quickly. With this Sparky deck, you can get like some really quick wins just because this deck is such a good 3 crown deck, and I think that probably actually will be a good game right here, just such a quick win. You just want to play this deck like super aggressively and just like spam a bunch of cards, and yeah, that would be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 12, so it is going to be a pretty interesting Royal Giant deck. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably seen similar decks to this. The only real difference from normal is that this deck does have guards instead of like Lumberjack or something, just because I don't think you actually unlock Lumberjack in Arena 12, so yeah, not really too sure what this guy's going to be running right here. He does have Mini Pekka and Pump, so actually might be like that new Expo deck that's kind of trending in the meta right now, like Expo Queen Pump, so will be pretty interesting right here. Don't really have the best way to kill his Pump. We do have Lightning, but it's always going to be a -1 elixir trade, and now we don't have like any RG in cycle if he goes with like an Expo, so I'm not really too sure how we're going to defend at this point, but yeah, he's just going to go with an Expo right here, just going to go with a Baby Dragon Barbarian, and also an E-Spirit, just to make sure that we can prevent like pretty much all of the damage right there. And now we do have RG in cycle for his next Expo, so even though he's probably going to get quite a big elixir lead with his elixir collectors, I think we should be able to defend pretty well, because we have like guards for his Mini Pekka, and we do have like Royal Giant for his Expo as well, and like Lightning for his Pump, so I think we should be fine right here. He does kind of mess up the Archer Queen ability, so our Goblin Brawler will go on the offensive end just a little bit, but he is going to stop it pretty easy with some skeletons. And I don't even want to Lightning his Pump at this point. I think if I Lightning his Pump, he could Expo, but I'm just going to do it anyways. I don't really want to, but I think we pretty much have to. Otherwise, if we don't go with the Lightning right there, I think he would pretty much just get like a huge lead with a bunch of Pumps and would probably beat us anyways. I was saying I didn't want to go with the Lightning, but I think it was probably the wrong choice that I actually did, because he is going to get like quite a big Expo lock because of that, so I probably should have just listened to my gut there, but I kind of just decided to go with the Lightning last minute, so it is going to cost us quite a bit of damage, but at least we're not going to be down too much elixir, hopefully. And yeah, not even going to bother to Lightning his Pump at this point, just going to try to focus on hopefully getting like a little bit of damage just so that we can be back in the lead again. I'm not like too worried about the defense with this deck, because I know we can defend his deck pretty easily, but I'm kind of worried about the offense, because he does have Mini Pekka, which is going to be super good for him against our Royal Giant pushes, so not really too sure how we're going to get damage at this point, but I guess guards could probably distract his Mini Pekka, so just going to try to make something happen right here. He's going to go with a log, but the Goblin Brawler is going to kind of finish off the Mini Pekka right there, and yeah, just bring out a Lightning off on his Queen right here, and Royal Giant does take quite a bit of damage, but it still does get one extra shot on his tower right there, so actually looking pretty good right here. We are just up like just a very little bit at this point, but I think he won't really be able to have like too many ways to actually defend an RG right here. He's gonna go with skeletons and stuff, but I think the RG might be able to finish him off right here. He is going to go with a mini pekka as well, so looks like he does just barely defend right there. We're pretty much just like 2 lightnings off winning, so I'm not even going to like care about his pumps at this point. Just going to focus on the offensive and making sure we can actually take out his tower, and I'm just going to let the Expo get a bit of chip damage on our tower, or it probably will take like half of our tower with that much HP, but I think Barbell should hopefully stop most of it. His mini Pekka is going to defend our RG pretty well, but still looking fine right here. Going to go with split guards here just to stop any queen damage, but also to kill the mini Pekka right there. And I think I might need to lightning this, but I think we can probably just like cycle back to another lightning pretty quickly, I hope, and we should be able to hopefully win. But yeah, he's going to spam a queen at the river. Gonna just have to like defend good one more time, and then if we defend like this push and get like one more lightning on his tower, that probably will be a good game. So I think we should be able to defend with these guards here, but just going to go with the goblin cage as well, just to be safe and make sure that we don't accidentally choke, and yeah, lightning will finish it off, so that will be a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match, we're going to be using the best deck for Arena 13, so it's just going to be the classic Pekka Bridge Spam deck, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with as well. It's probably one of the more popular decks in the game, alongside like Logbait and 2.6 and all of that stuff. So this deck is also even quite strong at the top of ladder, so you guys can definitely feel free to level it up as your main deck, not even like only if you're in this actual arena. And yeah, so not really too sure what this guy's going to be playing here. He does have Skeleton King and Tombstone, but Skeleton King is going to be quite a broken card right now, so could really mean anything. But he does have Hunter as well, so probably going to be a Royal Giant deck at this point. Nothing else really runs Hunter right now, so I assume this is going to be a Royal Giant. He's going to go with Fisherman as well, so yeah, definitely has to be Royal Giant right here. And just going to go with the Battle Ram at the river. He did waste his Tombstone, so I'm not really too sure what he's going to use, but he does get back to another Tombstone. Actually wasn't even paying attention to his cycle, but only a -1 elixir trade, so I think it should be fine regardless. And just going to kind of reset at this point. And honestly, Tombstone will be super hard for us to break through, because Pekka's just like so bad against Tombstone, but at the same time we do have still quite a few other ways to break through. Like we also have Magic Archer, which can be quite good, just because he doesn't have like a Fireball in his deck. I think he only has Lightning, so should be fine. And honestly, the Bandit did get quite a bit of damage right there, and also Balram is going to come down right here. He will go with the Hunter on it. He does counter it pretty fine right there, but now he doesn't have Hunter and Cycle to counter our other stuff, so still in a pretty good spot right here. And we should just go with the Ghost right here, and it should yeah, deny all damage right there. And if he goes with like a Skeleton King here on our Ghost, we could go with a Magic Archer on it, but he's just going to go with a Fisherman right here, so not really going to give us a good Magic Archer, so just going to play it in the back right now, just to like maybe bait out a Lightning, or just hopefully get some value. And I'm just going to go with a Pekka in the back right here in the same lane as his Skelly King. Don't really want to play anything else, because it would probably just like get absolutely destroyed by whatever other cards he uses to support his Skelly King. So I think Pekka should be good right here. It is going to kill the Skelly King, and the Skelly King doesn't have any ability charge, so it's no point in really using the ability, but he does decide to go with the ability anyways, even though it was pretty weak with only like a few skeletons right there. And he does have to use the log on our Battle Ram as well right there, so pretty happy with this spot. But Bandit is going to pretty much dash across the whole arena, and we already have quite a big counter push in the left lane as well from stopping his RG, and Pekka is going to walk towards the tower at this point, so yeah, looking really good right here. Pekka's going to get 2 swings on his tower, make that 3 swings, and yeah, that probably will be a good game at this point. Really nice win here. Outplayed him really nice at the end there with like a really good double lane push, and yeah, that will be a good game. Alright, and hopping in the best deck for Arena 14, it's going to be a Hog Firecracker deck. So this is really like the deck that I've been using in like most of my videos, or like the majority of my videos on the channel so far. Just this like really good old Hog Firecracker deck, which has been good for like quite a long time at this point, and honestly it wouldn't have been a proper video without this deck, so pretty much had to include it. And yeah, definitely a really good deck. I finished top 2 on ladder with this deck, so you can definitely make it work even in higher arenas as well, so it's always a really solid deck. And I'm not really too sure what this guy's going to be running right here. He does have Zappies and Tornado and also Tombstone, so I was kind of thinking it could be Graveyard or something like that, but I'm not really too sure. He does have Golden Knight as well, so Still not completely sure. Firecracker is going to get a bit of chip damage on his tower right there. I feel like Firecracker is also like super good in mid ladder, just like so good at like constantly knocking itself back, so it can always like get more and more value because it's always going farther back. And I guess it is going to be like a weird goblin drill deck that he's running right here, so should be an interesting match. We do have Valkyrie to always stop his goblin drill, so I think it actually should be quite good for us. And Hog is going to kind of almost get to his tower, but he's just going to NATO it off, and Valkyrie is actually going to finish off his zappies pretty well, and we'll get one shot on his tower there. He was a little bit late on his log. The tornado kind of worked against him right there because he just tornadoed our Valkyrie right onto his zappies. So yeah, worked out pretty good for us right here. And just going to go with the log on his tower. Don't really need to save our log for defense against his drills because we do also have the Valkyrie, which can counter them pretty easily at this point. So don't really need to worry too much. And he's going to go with the tombstone right here. Not really going to like save my earthquakes for his tombstones, to be honest, just because like earthquakes probably the only way we're really going to get chip damage on his towers, just because we can't really break through like all of his hog counters, like his tornado and his tombstone and stuff like that. Like even if we go with the earthquake on his tombstone, he does still have the NATO in cycle every time, and he does have zappies as well right here. So yeah, still looking pretty good for us right here. Firecracker just going to do so much work on defense, and it's just going to like keep splashing his zappies and everything, and it's going to pretty much make his Golden Knight dash all the way towards the middle, and it will get shut down pretty easily by both of our towers. And Hog will get a shot on his tower, make that 2 shots before he actually gets the right counters down. And I think he does have Magic Archer in his deck, so I do have to be a little bit careful with my Valkyries because we have to make sure that he can't get like a really good lineup on us. Otherwise it could mean that we potentially lose the game, even though we're in a really big lead at this point. And yeah, so Hog is going to like slowly chip down his King Tower as well, so he can't like always NATO our Hogs to his King Tower unless he wants to just get like 3 crowns. So I think we should be fine right here. Valkyrie is going to come down on his Goblin Drill, so looking pretty good right here. Do have to be a bit careful of his Golden Knights. That's really like the only thing I'm worried about, as well as his Magic Archers, to be honest. So yeah, pretty happy with this spot though. Log is going to finish off his Tombstone. He's going to put the kind of a panicked Magic Archer right there, but it is going to get shut down super easily by the Firecracker plus Log combo. And yeah, we'll predict the Goblin Drill pretty easily there with the Valkyrie, so in a really good spot. Just need to like EQ cycle him out a little bit and hopefully get like maybe some lucky Hog hits, but looks like he's just going to give up at this point, so that will be a good game. Alright, and hopping into the next match, we're going to be showing you guys the best deck for Arena 15. Yeah, the best deck for Arena 15 is going to be Electro Giant, which is probably something most of you guys were expecting. Maybe not all of you, but especially after the Electro Giant buff, it's just going to be such a strong deck for Arena 15. It's honestly really good all around in ladder, just because of like how easy it is to play, and when they don't have like a building to counter your Electro Giant, it just gets like so much value every time. So I feel like Electro Giant should hopefully suit a lot of you guys really well, and he's gonna have like a pretty good Magic Archer right here, kind of chipping down our E-Giant, but I'm just gonna NATO it straight into our Electro Giant. Hopefully get some good damage on his tower right here. Not really too sure what he's gonna use to stop it. Looks like he does have a Witch right here, and yeah, I guess he's just like running kind of a random deck, kind of like a mid-ladder deck, I suppose. And Mother Witch should actually be pretty good against Witch because it will turn all of the skeletons into like the little cursed pigs. So should be quite good right here, which will actually target the Mother Witch though instead of the Hogs, but now it will switch back to the Hoggies there, and we're just going to run towards his tower and get a little bit of chip damage even past his Dark Prince right there. And by the way guys, you can also run this deck with Golden Knight instead of Dark Prince. I feel like Golden Knight's probably a little bit better if you're at the top of ladder, but I know most of you guys probably don't have champions unlocked, so that's why I decided to put Dark Prince in this deck instead of the Golden Knight. And yeah, Inferno Dragon is getting quite a lot of value right here. He does have Zap and E-Spirit, but even with all those resets, it's still managing to like pretty much destroy him. And I think Witch should be pretty useless against our Electro Giant right here. After we just NATO it in, it's just going to get completely destroyed right there, and I'm not really too sure how he's going to defend our E-Giant right here. Just going to go with a Goblin Cage as well, just to kind of tank for everything. And I think he may have given up here, so I was just about to call the outro right there, but he just decide to rocket us for no reason. So guess we're just going to go on for a little bit longer right here. Bomber is going to chip away at his King Tower, so he doesn't really have like a building or anything like that, so not really too sure how he's going to stop an Electro Giant. So just going to go with it right here. And he does have a Graveyard as well in his deck, but I don't really think he's going to be able to stop our Electro Giant since he spent like so much elixir on offense right there. So yeah, I think that will be a good game. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!